Sí, vamos a empezar aquí bien. Okay. Ooh, I just realized I need to educate myself better on the new things on Zoom. There are new things that I don't know. Some folks chose to do a transcript that is absolutely a-okay because yeah, why not? If you can, I didn't know you could do that. Okay. Bueno, vamos a empezar. Y bienvenidos y bienvenidas y buenos días. Okay, para empezar, little tiny bit of housekeeping so that I don't forget, because otherwise I will. Hoy es el primer día de en Scottsdale para inscribirte. Today is the first day for you to register. So
I think it's next Monday.
Next week.
oh, it's next. Perdón. Next. No, hoy es el 21. Sí, es el 28. Es el 28. Okay. 28th. Next week, Monday, is the first day to register for Scottsdale classes for winter. That's going to be classes that start, I think it's like January 12th, January 10th, something like that. And they stretch through the end of March. Okay, so that will be winter session. So I have many people in this session who also take like Tai Chi or tennis or painting or cooking or something. So, you know, if you want one of those kinds of classes also, sometimes I know those fill up very fast. So just so that you know, so that you can register. Another question I got that I want to address real quickly before I forget is that the differences in the classes. You will sign up for the same Monday class. Same like always, como siempre, okay? For winter, I will run the Wednesday sessions for the people who want to do some harder stuff. Same as always, no difference. So,
And thanks in advance.
perdón?
Thank you in advance.
Yeah. So it's the same. So now, Scottsdale did approve for those who want to do something harder, not winter, but spring. They're going to build it into the calendar. Go! They're actually going to build it into the calendar. So that's to be coming. That was my negotiation this week, and you know, finally got that cleared up. So, but that will not. You know, we will do it, but it will not be, you know, officially registering through Scottsdale in winter, just so that you know. Right. And this Monday session, same as always, is probably what you should sign up for. If you want to do some harder stuff, you're always free to join us Wednesday. And if you don't want to do harder stuff, you're free not to join us on Wednesday. No importa, doesn't matter. So I hope that clears that up. See? Bien?
Yeah, bien.
Okay. Vale, bien. Is that all my stuff? I'm just marking off. I'm checking my list. Last quick item. We will not do a session this Wednesday for advance because everybody's busy. And people said, I should have a day off. Isn't that nice? Ustedes son muy amables. Wow, you guys are really kind. Do I have things to do? Well, yeah, I have things to do. I'm the head cook. Soy la cocinera. Soy la gran cocinera. I am the big cook in this house. Although my kids did express an interest in, you know, maybe we should know how to cook this meal for someday down the line when you're gone.
What's gonna happen?
Sí, gracias. Thanks so much, kids, for reminding me of my mortality. Okay. We're going to start with it. Vamos a empezar con una pregunta especial antes de practicar, before practicing the usual. We are going to, and I'm sorry, we've got one quick question, and I'll actually address that just to the person who asked. Okay. We had a quick question about if you want to do a command, but you don't want to use it. You want to say this. What do you do? Does the word this become like the word it? No, it does not.
No.
But quick moment, so I type this.
Marilyn? Hello, Marilyn? Can you hear
Yep.
me?
See, okay. I'm very bad at multitasking. Bear with me here. Momentito.
Can anyone hear me?
Okay.
Yes,
I-
we're here. I hear you, Charlie.
Oh, okay.
See?
Marilyn, I had a question actually about the classes, before you start the lesson.
And-
My class, in the booklet that I got from Scottsdale, it said that it was an evening class, is that right? It showed like a 6:15 or something?
There is a 6 o'clock class on Wednesdays, just so you know, because for some people that may be important. Okay. The Wednesday class runs evenings, 6 o'clock until 7:30. It is full of people who are at various comfort levels, but it's generally a little more, they generally have more experience than this group. Para que sepan, so you know. So what do the Wednesday people know that you guys do not? They have had a fair amount of exposure to past tense, the various past tenses. They have had, are they super comfortable with it? Not really. A little bit comfortable with it. They have also some exposure to some of the subjunctive, which is related to this command stuff you guys are doing right now. Are they comfortable with subjunctive? Not at all. Very few. A few people in the Wednesday group are comfortable with subjunctive, but the majority of them not super comfortable. So still, you know, kind of wander around with that one. So it's the Wednesday group is a group that has a slightly longer exposure to the different skill sets. Does that help a little bit, Charlie?
It does. I guess I just missed. So there is a Monday morning class like there is now in winter, right?
The Monday morning class is this class. That's the only one
Right.
that I do. There might be a different
Okay.
instructor who has an in-person Monday class. That's possible.
No,
Yeah, you have to look at
I
the
just didn't
instructor.
see the Monday class. I wanted to be sure that it was still there. Okay.
Yeah,
thank
Monday
you.
class is still there, just like always, no problem. Okay, the Wednesday is for people who wanted evenings because some people work and cannot do a daytime class.
It didn't show in the booklet, the Monday class. I didn't
It
see
is,
it.
it
Yeah,
is in the
it's there.
booklet, but it's at the top.
It's
Oh,
there.
okay.
It
It's
should be
there.
there.
It's still called Beginner Spanish Step 2 on page
Okay.
14 of the booklet, the second item listed.
Oh, okay, great.
I don't
thanks.
get the booklet, so that you know. The reason I can't knowledgeably answer, there you go. Gracias, Mark. I'll see if I can go online and look at it. I may be able to go online and look at it. What I will try to do is go online, look at it, and take a screenshot of the section.
Mhm.
That
The problem is that they're organized by title, so that your classes are split apart with the other person's classes in the Between. middle of the listings for your
Oh.
classes.
when
It
it's
is
printed out.
very- Because of the way they do it by title, that's what happens.
Okay.
So maybe they need to, they need Keep it help in together. doing their
Yeah.
catalog, obviously.
Yeah,
Or-
there have been a lot of,
Do the titles so that they all come together.
yeah,
Mm.
that would be nice.
Okay.
wouldn't it?
But
I
they
don't
are
get to
clear,
determine.
they are clear, like everything in blue is online and then everything in the orange looks like to be in person.
Well,
So,
even that's not quite true.
No,
because
that's mixed.
Oh, it's not?
Maryland's,
Okay.
Maryland's continuing classes are in red or
Oh,
orange.
you're right,
whatever
yeah.
color
those-
that is.
Okay.
you know, it might be wise. This is a formatting thing. Yeah, it might be wise. The greasy, oh no, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Squeaky, right? So if you say, wow, this is not convenient for me, probably the best thing to do is send a quick email to Leisure Ed and just say, hey, next time you guys
Confusing.
format this, could you think about grouping it in this way? And because, yeah, squeaky wheel, it gets the grease.
Yeah,
If I
well-
say something, they're like, eh.
Yeah.
While we're back on the question of the classes, just for another little quick question. So I've noticed that the step 2 class, which is this class and the one we'll register for again to continue with this, it's a Monday class. So it's actually two fewer classes than the others, I guess, because of, I'm guessing, MLK Day and
Yes.
and President's Day.
You will see fewer classes because they officially do not list a class for federal holidays.
Yeah. That's it.
So President's Day and yeah, January hits the Monday class heavy.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. I may do
Okay.
something anyway. If people like don't have a great, if people really want to do something. 'Cause-
Or we should just have a fiesta since they're a holiday.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be fun.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, yeah, we can check that out later. But yeah, if you're looking at saying, wow, it's fewer classes, it's because January is a heavy holiday
Holiday.
month. That's the way it is. Okay. Bien.
We could plan to do the lunch that never happened because of COVID.
Ah, there you
We
go.
could.
Sí.
We could.
Eso sí es posible. That is possible.
Sí.
Eso es posible. Sí. Ok. Vale. Maravillosos. Ok. Cosas para planear en el futuro. Things to plan in the future. Let's do a quick intro. A quick intro with sí. La pregunta. La pregunta de this. Okay, and I want to do this before Mark's got some work and he may have to exit later. So we're going to do this first.
Yeah, I'm not sure when the guy's coming. So.
Nunca se sabe. You never know. Okay. Okay. La pregunta es esto, clase. Y es buena pregunta. If you've got a command like, mire, look. Okay. Yeah, look. Okay, look at it would be mírelo, right? Sí, y necesito un acento aquí. Don't worry about the accent marks too much. If you really have a burning question about it, we can do that later. It is a writing thing. It doesn't really affect your speaking. Mírelo, o por ejemplo, mírela, o por ejemplo, mírelos, look at them, o por ejemplo, mírelas, look at them again, but feminine things. O, míreme, look at me, míreme, okay? Yeah, look at it, look at it, look at them, look at me. But what if you want to say, look at this, look at this? Okay, the word this is not it. There's the short explanation. It always winds up being or them, an object pronoun. So those little short words, yeah, those are object pronouns. Now, technically, this can be a pronoun. Okay, por ejemplo, si quiero decir, if I want to say, tengo un tubo de crema, sí, para las manos. Un tubo es un tubo de crema. Okay. Mírelo, mírelo. Look at it. And the lo stands for el tubo. Okay. But if I say, mire este, look at this thing. Yeah, this, este, it does come after that command mire. So look at this, mire este. Look at this, it might be very frequently described as mire esto. Esto is often used as a very general this. If I don't know if you're going to interpret this as crema or tubo, I can use a generic because that esto is not a masculine word. It in fact is a neutral word. Mire esto, look at this thing. Right. But if I want to specifically use this, it's este, because it's a tubo, es un tubo. Okay. So the word this will follow the command like lo follows the command, but it's not a shorty pronoun like the lo, la, los, las, and it's not attached to the command, if that makes sense. See? Okay, when else might you hear things like this or that? Well, this or that. Okay, so what's the difference between this and it? This, para que sepan, just so you know, this, it is a pronoun, but it is used more. It is used more to indicate the general physical space, okay, that the item is in. It indicates the distance of that object from the speaker. Okay, so you may never have thought about this before, because why would you? This, or the plural these, this or these, indicates something that's close to the person talking. Even in English, you don't think about it, you just intuitively know that from the way we have used it since the time you were knee-high. Okay, so this is always talking about something close to the person speaking. See? Oh, toma este, take this, right? Toma este, take this, right? I would never say, hey, take that. Yeah. That always indicates something closer.
Take that.
Yeah.
Marilyn, you didn't see, take that.
Ah, there you go. Yeah. Or in a fit of anger. Yes.
Yeah.
And then it will, yeah. So, este would mean this. Look at that becomes mire ese, or if it's way far off, mire aquel, or aquello, if it's a very general thing, but those aquel words always indicate something way out. The aquel category of words to say that indicates something that is not close to the speaker, not really close to the person I'm speaking to, but far away from both of us. Okay, so the this and that group of words, este, this and these do have T's, that and those, no T goes. Okay, and the ese or esa or esos or esas words to say that indicate that something is close not to me, but to the person I'm speaking to, close to the person I'm speaking to. Okay, that
Marilyn,
is
I
the
have a
difference.
question. It's a more
Easy.
on the direct object. Does it ever go in with a command? Is it always attached, or does it go in? Can it go in front of the verb?
With a command, it is always attached if it's a go do it verb. Or excuse me,
Okay.
a go do it command. A yes do it command, yes attach. A no don't do it command, do not attach. That's
Okay.
what we're, yeah, that's what we're going to be playing with today. See, Mariana.
Okay.
Exacto. Okay. I'm going to ask if the whole idea of this makes sense. You know, this is a separate word. This does not mean the same thing as it. This indicates distance of an object rather than simply referring to the object as an it.
This helped me a lot. I asked this question, but could you just quickly write out the kind of like the equivalents? We have lo, la, los, and las for it.
See,
for, masculine, feminine, and then plurals. Could you
No.
write out the equivalent
It.
of this, that, or this, these, and that for, for kind of those plural, a singular, plural, and masculine, feminine, just to have it all in,
like a
I
chart of
wonder-
all of those, what they
yeah,
mean? Sure.
just a quickie chart of that.
Sí, lo puedo. Okay. So just know that lo is it if it's a masculine thing. La is it if it's a feminine thing, or it can mean her, right? The lo and the la, they can talk about people. Direct objects can be people, or they can be things. Indirect objects, no. Indirect objects refer to a person. We're going to see an interesting iteration of that in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so los will mean them. It might refer to objects or people, right? It can be either way. It depends on what the action of that verb is, right? And who's receiving that action, or what is receiving that action. And las is them for feminine things. And again, it can refer to objects or to people, okay? The reason you never have a problem with me or te or nos is because me and te and nos always talk about human beings, and they don't go into a gender. They're just me, te, and nos. So we never have confusion with those. Me, te, and nos are direct. Me, te, and nos are indirect also. And me, te, and nos are reflexive also. So we never have an issue with that because the gender thing doesn't get in the way. And the, I got to decide on a certain word. Is it direct? Is it indirect? It doesn't matter with me, te, nos. But it matters with these things here that are the direct object pronouns, okay? So let's look at one quick little command that is not mirar, but a different one with these examples. Okay. Let's look at comprar, buy, comprar. To buy. But if you want to say, hey, buy this, buy that, buy it, buy them, right? Which form have I used for comprar really depends on who the you is, right? Let's look at the tu command for comprar. The tu command for comprar, if it's yes, go do it, is just get rid of the S. It is just compra. Compra. So buy it is compralo or comprala. Depends on the item, right? Or if it's more than one thing, feminine, compralas or compralos. A yes command, you have to attach it. Compralos. We just ditched the S. Yay. But if you want to say buy this, you're looking at all the turkeys. Yeah, you're looking at all the turkeys in the great big freezer vat, right? En el super. Okay. Pavo, turkey. Sabemos que pavo es masculino, ¿no? Cómpralo. Cómpralo, buy it. But if you want to say, buy this one is the biggest one. I buy this one. If you want to say this one, compra este.
Marilyn, can I ask you a question?
Sí.
Where it's a positive command, why are we not changing the A to an E?
Bien. Sí. Okay. Vamos a repasar. You know what? If you're more confused by commands than you were by anything else, well, yes, that happens. But so why are we even talking about it? Because you will hear them. You will hear them. Okay. You will hear people saying them. So if you go to if you go to the you know, if you go to the la recepcionista, okay, the lady who's at the receptionist desk at a hotel, you'll hear her say, you know, mira, look at this. If she feels she's on a friendly basis with you, mira, or she may express it as mire. Commands are used all the time. You know, they may say, take this, look at that, go over there, right? Right? Look for this sign, right? People will give you commands from time to time. So examples of two commands. Let's do a quick review before we do any actual work on it. Two commands are
Negative.
what we prefaces with is that negative, the no commands, the don't do it commands, the no, don't do it commands look like usted and ustedes with the S, but they put the S on the end. So they're formed like the usted commands, they're formed like the ustedes commands, but only if they're negative too. Why did they do that? I have ni idea. I have no idea why they do that. They just do it that way. It is an annoying thing for people to learn. Why would you make, okay, usted, it doesn't matter if the command is do it, don't do it. The verb is the same, but do, it matters if it's do it or don't do it. The verb for the command changes. That is what makes two commands so confusing. Okay, a negative two command will be formed just like the ustedes commands. That means that you start with that yo form, drop the o, and add the opposite vowel. That's how negative two commands are formed. So an easier way to think of it might be this, guys. The easier way to think about it is if you know the usted command, that it uses the opposite form, just put an S on the end and you got the negative two command. However, your brain can absorb that better, go with it. If you want to go with the full deal of saying, oh, yeah, you know, if you want to go with the full deal of start with yo, ditch the o, swap the vowels out, that's fine. But that's how we make the usted command. Let's make the usted command slap an S on it. So tomar becomes, and I've got an it thrown in there. No lo tomes, right? Pagar, no pagues. Don't forget, no te olvides, right? Here is this is not only is it a command, people say that when they're in shock, they're surprised by something you've said. No me digas, wow. It's like us saying, hey, wow, you don't say.
Marilyn?
See.
I've got a question. So the very first one, start with the yo, drop the o, then add the opposite vowel. Isn't that the same as an usted command?
Yes, the negative two are exactly like the usted commands. It's so, yes, exacto. Sí, eso es. The negative two commands are formed exactly like the usted commands, except you need that little S on the end.
Well, no, I'm sorry. It says drop the o, then add the opposite vowel.
Right.
So that rule applies to the usted commands, doesn't it? That first line.
Exacto. Sí. Sí.
Okay,
Eso
so you
es.
don't have to tag on this. You just tag on the the a. I mean,
Sí, eso es exactamente. It is exactly it. So if you know the usted commands, if you know how to make an usted command, then you know how to make a negative two command.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can learn one rule and it would apply to both conditions.
Yeah. Okay, so now this is, you know, this is kind of tied into the whole thing of the moods. There's an indicative, meaning it's really happening mood, and though every mood includes different types of tenses. So indicative mood includes present tense, plain old present tense, saying that something is really happening. Indicative mood includes the past tenses, saying that something happened in the past. It includes future. Okay, but commands are a separate mood. Commands indicate something that isn't happening. And commands, which they call imperative mood, are very closely related, kind of really almost intertwined with the idea of the subjunctive. All right, both commands and subjunctive mean that the action isn't really happening yet. Okay, and they go into that different verb form to indicate to somebody not really happening yet. So, okay, vale, bien. Let's take a quick look.
Mary.
Sí.
One quick question. If we go back to comprar,
Sí, sí.
you had the example of comprarlo, buy it. Why wasn't A changed to an E?
Because negative to commands, the verb will look different than affirmative to commands.
But it was an affirmative. It was buy it.
Cómpralo. Right. Cómpralo. Okay.
It's not negative.
Let me try to untangle this a little bit. Don't worry about the pronoun yet. Let's take just a quick look at the negative tu or commands are going to look just like what you did with usted commands, which is this. We start with the yo, we get rid of the o, and now we add on the opposite vowel. And opposite vowel means AR verbs get e endings. ER and IR verbs get a endings. That's it. Okay. So.
But then add the S.
Right. So, but the important thing is you've got to start with the yo form first, because there are all kinds of oddities, irregularities with the yo forms, and they're all based on the yo forms. And again, why they do that, I cannot tell you, but it's just what they do. Okay. So, usted commands are usted hable or ustedes hablen, right? Usted for comer, it becomes coma or coman, right? For vivir, viva or vivan. Okay. Negative to commands will look just like this. Negative to gets a special verb, and that special verb for negative to commands looks just like the usted command, except that you're going to have that S at the end. You're going to have the S slapped on. But only for negative to commands. I know. Why did they make it that complicated? Don't know. No sé. No lo sé. I do not know. All right. So let's take a look at what negative to looks like for these verbs here. Hable or hables, or excuse me, hable or hablen, it will become no hables. No hables. All right. Coma or coman, it'll become no comas, don't eat. Well, don't live is not a very practical one, but vidas, no vidas. Well, okay, yeah. Don't live in that hellhole. I don't know. I guess I'm something, right? But okay, let's take a look. Bring. Traiga, because I have to start with that oddball go verb, right? I start with traigo. I drop the o. For usted or ustedes, I've got traiga, traigan. It doesn't matter. It can be traiga, no traiga. Traigan, no traigan. Okay. The negative to command will look just like these. You slap an S on the end. No traigas, but it has to be no traigas. Don't bring. If the to verb is bring, the affirmative to command is a different verb form from the negative to command, right? Usted gets the same kind of command, whether it's do it or don't do it. Ustedes gets the same kind of command, whether it's do it or don't do it. But to is a different animal. To does one verb thing for do it. It does a completely different thing for don't do it. The don't do it for to looks just like these usted commands. Does that a little better? See? So, traiga, no traiga. Traigan, no traigan. But negative to looks like this. No traigas. With an S at the end, okay? Let's take a quick look. Salga, this is from salir because we have to start with salgo, right? We start with salgo, we drop the O off the end. We use the opposite vowel and the S comes back. So usted is salga. Ustedes salgan. Negative to, only negative to is no salgas. No salgas. Don't leave.
What's positive to? Affirmative to.
It's a different verb form.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you yet.
Okay.
I am going to tell you today. Hoy sí.
Okay.
Sí, les voy a decir, I'm going to tell you guys, les voy a decir, pero ahora no. I want to get this pattern in your head.
Okay.
Because when we weave it all together, it's like, oh my God, what a tangled ball of yarn that is. It is that way. Okay, let's take a look at venir. Venir, we have to start with vengo. People often say, come on over. This is a common command for people to say and hear somebody saying it to you. Okay. Tour guide has a group of people and he walks over to a different place. He will likely say, vengan, come on. Yeah. Okay. So usted is venga because we start with vengo. We drop the O. Venir is an IR verb. We need an a ending. Venga. For more than one, hey, you guys, vengan, come on. Only negative to will look like these. It'll be no vengas. The S comes back. No vengas. Bien? Okay, let's look at another situation that shows you why we have to start with the yo form first. That pesky yo form first. All of the stem changers are going to have this thing come up again. So, cierre comes from cerrar. Cerrar is to close, okay? Cerrar. But when we start with cierro, we have that IE stem change in there. So, cierro, I get rid of the O. Cerrar is an AR verb. It's cierre. Ustedes, it's cierren. Cierren las ventanas. Close the windows. Cierren las ventanas, por favor. Okay? But the negative to will look like cierre, cierren. No cierres, no cierres. Okay? Bien? For dormir, I start with duermo. The usted commands are duerma. I need an a for an IR verb. Duerma, duerman. If I tell somebody don't sleep, it's no duerma, no duerman. The negative to only is no duermas. No duermas aquí. Don't sleep here. No duermas aquí. No duermas ahora. Don't sleep now. Okay. Bien.
How do you spell that? How do you spell
duermas? Duermas?
Yeah.
Duermas would be spelled like this.
You are,
Duermas.
yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Duermas with an S at the end.
Of course.
But look, duerma, yeah, duermas looks exactly like duerma. It looks exactly like duerman. It just adds an S at the end, duerma. No duermas, but look, it's got to be it has to be no duermas. Negative two commands look like usted and ustedes. Usted and ustedes does the same thing all the time, whether it's duerma or no duerma. Duerman, no duerman. But only negative two is no duermas. It's an oddball. Let's take a look at repetir. Repetir, we have an E to I stem change. So we start with the yo. Repito, I repeat. Repito, I ditch the O from the end. Repetir is an IR verb. I use an a ending because that's the opposite ending. Okay, so I have usted repita, repita por favor, right? Repitan por favor, right? No repita, no repitan, igual, same way, okay? Tu negative is going to look just like those. No repitas. No lo repitas a nadie. Don't repeat it to anybody. No lo repitas a nadie. No lo repitas a nadie. ¿Sí? No lo repitas. Okay. Why does this matter? Because when you say it this way, they know it's a command. So, no lo repites, ES, just means, oh, it's a fact. You're not repeating it. It just means it's a fact. But if I'm telling you, hey, don't you say this to him, don't you repeat this, no lo repitas, that us, they know it's like, you're telling them to do something, or in this case, not do something. Okay, bien? So let's take a look one more time. Okay, negative two commands are formed exactly like usted and ustedes commands, exactly the same. Yay, the same. Tomar uses not the a, but the e. Tome, no lo tomes, no lo tomes, right? Pagar, a, switches to the e sounds. No pagues, don't pay. No pagues aquí, don't pay here. Pagues allá, or paga allá, perdón, paga allá. No pagues aquí, paga, do pay allá, over there, okay? No pagues, okay? No te olvides, don't forget, from olvidarse. Decir has to start with digo. No me digas, literally don't tell me, but people do also use it as an expression of surprise. Like we would say, you don't say. Wow, I'm shocked to hear that, okay? Salir starts with salgo. Salgo, we get rid of the O. It's an IR verb. We add an as ending. No salgas, don't leave, right? And the no te duermas, don't fall asleep. So I want you to notice with negative commands, the pronoun has to come up front. The pronoun has to come up front. I cannot tag on a pronoun to a negative command ever, ever, ever. So that's the way those go. Take a look at these. Preocuparse, to worry. Don't worry is, right? It would be preocupo that I start with, but it's an AR, it's an AR verb. So I don't want an a ending for negative two. I want an e with an S on the end. No te preocupes, don't worry. No te preocupes. Don't worry.
Marilyn, do
It's
you have to use the take?
For that one, sí, it is a reflexive verb. It is expressed that way. Sí.
Okay.
No te preocupes. And I'm going to tell you, no te preocupes, besides meaning, don't worry. And do you think of that as a command in English?
No.
But it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling somebody not to do something. Don't worry. Okay. Another thing is, no te preocupes, besides meaning, don't worry, is often used as an equivalent for this idea. De nada, you're welcome. You know how in English we may say, oh, you're welcome, don't think of it, no problem, no worries, don't worry about it, as a response, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people like to use no te preocupes as the same thing as de nada. Yeah. So you may hear it in that context. You may. Okay. But literally, technically, what it means is don't worry, no te preocupes. See, sentarse is reflexive. We're showing you what happens with these little pronouns if it's a negative command, right? Sentarse gets me siento as a yo form, right? We get rid of the o from siento. It's an AR verb. We go to an e ending. We slap an S on. It's no te sientes. Don't sit down. No te sientes aquí. Don't sit here. No te sientes aquí. I'm going to show you what happens. Here is what typically it is. Somebody asks you at that Thanksgiving dinner table, no te sientes aquí. You know, they've got like got little name plaques at the places. Yeah, they're one of those people. No te sientes aquí. Don't sit down here. Sit there. Sit down over there. Oh, now we're switching from a don't sit down to yes, sit down. Look at how different it sounds. No te sientes aquí. Siéntate allá. Sit over there. Sit over there is the flip answer, the positive. Don't do this, do that instead. No te sientes aquí. It's a command. Siéntate allá. Sit down over there. Right? The little kid who wants to sit at the big grown-up table. Y la mamá dice, no te sientes aquí. Siéntate allá. Siéntate allá.
Can I ask another question?
Sí, sí.
Go ahead, Lisa. I'll go after you.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering, most of the time they'll say, por favor, or
Sí, sí, sí.
is it ever is enunciation ever used? You know?
What with por favor?
You know,
Yes, do include the por favor.
always. I mean,
I would
you know how
always
we,
include.
you know, it's our tone of voice
Okay.
a lot of times.
With a little kid, I would not necessarily use a por favor. It depende. It depends on the situation. In a classroom with a little kid, I would use a por favor.
Mm-hmm.
With my own kids, it kind of depends on how much of a hurry I'm in. See?
Mm-hmm.
Mira, cierra la puerta. Hey, close that door. Do it fast. I'm not going to bother with the por favor. Yeah, I'll probably skip it. Depends on how big a hurry I'm in or how polite I need to be. But por favor, if you're in public, if you are speaking to people who are doing things for you, never, never forget the por favor. Or if you want to really shorten it, you can always say porfa. Porfa. Porfa is just shorter for por favor. And that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. It's just a shortened form of that. It's okay to do that if you don't get all the whole por favor are. So, okay. Bien.
Question.
Sí.
On the pagar and salir,
Sí.
it's a negative command and there's no indirect or direct object there.
Right. See. So,
Why?
because I didn't happen to have a pronoun there.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm just,
Would you
so no pagues, right, okay, it could be no lo pagues, don't pay it. Or it could be, it very well could be, no le pagues, don't pay him.
Mhm.
Or it could be, oh, don't pay me, I'm not the one that you need to pay. Oh, no me pagues, don't pay me, yeah. So there could be different kinds of pronouns there with pagar.
Okay.
Salir
Okay.
won't have a pronoun because it doesn't take an object.
No me salgas.
No
me salgas.
No, you won't. You won't. Because that is a different leave.
Oh, okay, don't get into
Okay.
that.
Yeah, don't bother with that. No,
Don't bother with that, Nell.
Yeah, we
Don't
won't
tell
bother
us.
with that yet.
Don't
Okay,
tell me.
we want to get used to this pattern. Okay, so negative two gets, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna rephrase this. Gets one set of irregulars. Negative two gets one set of the irregulars, and they are the same as the usted and ustedes irregulars. And I'm gonna refont this so that it's easier to read all on one line. Okay, vale, bien. Okay, negative two commands get one set of irregulars. They are the same irregulars that you have for usted and ustedes. That means that they are the verbs that people remember this little acronym. They remember this. Dishes, dishes,
Okay.
dar, ir, ser, haber, which really won't happen because with the command, estar, and saber, okay? And you know what? Practically speaking, are you going to use don't know as a command? You know, so don't
No.
worry about that for now, right? But yeah, okay, but these other ones, they very well could come up. And this one in particular, dar and ir, a lot. Dar and ir, a lot. Do you tell people don't be? Yeah, maybe. Like, sí,
Don't be
no,
stupid.
sí, no
Don't be-
seas difícil,
Listo.
don't be difficult.
Mm.
No estés
Listo.
triste, don't be sad. No estés triste, yes. So, but you know what? The ones that you hear as commands a lot are dar and ir. Dar and ir. Deme por favor las llaves. Give me the keys, please. En el hotel. Deme por favor las llaves. Bien, okay. So
If you would say,
or
don't give-
dame, yeah. And I'm mixing my commands now, so I shouldn't do that. Okay. Okay,
if you were
so,
gonna say, don't give him the keys,
sí, no me des las llaves, no me des las llaves, no me des las llaves. Don't give me the keys. No me des el dinero. Don't give me the money. You need to give the money to somebody else, right? No
it.
vayas,
Yeah.
don't go. And you know what? The don't leave me, Nora, the don't leave me
Yeah.
would be kind of expressed quite often, not always, but often with this. No vayas.
Okay.
No vayas. Don't go. Don't go. No vayas. Or it might be no te vayas. Don't go away. Because the te means away. No te vayas. No te vayas. Don't go away. No te vayas. Okay. So negative two looks like an usted or ustedes commands. Just slap on an S. Negative two. See? It looks just like usted and ustedes. You just slap on an S. Okay. That's what we do. Es lo que hacemos. Okay, so let's take a look, right? Bien, let's take a look at affirmative tú. Affirmative tú is not like usted. It will not use opposite vowel. It just drops the S from the plain old present tense. So, comes becomes, get rid of the S. Come. Tomas becomes, get rid of the S. Toma. Listen becomes like escuchas, but get rid of the S. Escucha. Listen. Mirar, we take miras, we get rid of the S. Mira. This is one of the most common commands you'll hear a lot. Look, 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 look. Anytime you go on a tour, mira, yeah, mira, or mire if it's, you know, usted. So it depends. Mira, dar. We take das, we get rid of the S, da. But please always dame por favor. Dar is also one of the commands you will hear a lot, like you hear mira a lot, okay? When will you use dar? You'll use dar as a command a lot when you're standing in line in a quick food ordering situation. And whereas it may sound kind of abrupt, hey, barkeep, give me a beer. Yeah, give me a beer, like that. It is not considered rude. If you're standing in line for your para el café, si haces cola, if you're making a line, si haces cola para pedir un café in Starbucks, en un café, sí, es muy normal decir, dame por favor, and don't forget the por favor, dame por favor un café solo, dame por favor un café con leche, dame por favor, okay? So, da, yeah, that's the thing, but dame, give me, okay? So, pagar, we take pagas, the normal present tense, tú, we get rid of the S, it's just paga, right? Dormir, we take the S off of duermes, duerme, right? Recordar, this one is, you hear this a lot. You know, when you tell people, hey, remember to do da, 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 you don't think of it in English as a command, but it is. Remember to take out the trash. Remember to walk the dog. Remember to get the milk, right? Recuerda. Recuerda, por favor. Do I need por favor? Well, if you want to be nice, yes, remember the por favor. Okay. Cerrar, we just get rid of the S from cierras, it's cierra. Repetir, we just get rid of the S from repites, repite, right? Turn, if you want to tell somebody to turn when they're walking or driving. Doblar means to turn. Doblas, we get rid of the S, dobla. Dobla a la derecha. Dobla a la derecha, turn right. Dobla a la izquierda, turn left. Do you use a please with turn right, turn left? No. Right? People give that when they're giving you directions on the street, and they won't use a por favor with that. They won't. Okay.
So these are the same forms as the usted, but
these are not
the
the same.
context. Well, if you were not the command, just the regular, like close. If you would say he closes the window, you would use cierra.
Yes. Yes.
In a
sí.
command, it's so
Sí.
obviously a different context than they know what you're.
Sí.
you don't get confused.
Right. Commands are usually given to you. Whether that you is one person or a bunch of people.
Right?
They can also be a we.
Let's not go there. But
Okay.
I'm just
We're not
saying,
gonna go
in my
there yet.
mind, it's the
Although-
same.
Although it's actually pretty common, like, let's go, like, let's look at. Yeah. Oh, let's begin. Yeah,
But I
actually,
thought then you just use vamos.
they do just use vamos. They do.
Okay.
They do for that one verb.
Mm.
Yes, they
Okay.
do. Okay, so let's see. Last one on the list here. Seguir, seguir. Sigues is the normal tu present tense form. Just get rid of the S. Sigue. Keep going. Okay. Bien. So affirmative tu commands just drop the S from the present tense. So they look like ele a usted verbs, don't they? Yes, and they sound like that. Yes. How do you know if somebody is talking to you, saying a command, or talking about one person? Because they're looking at you and telling you to do something. The context is everything. The context is everything. Okay, so we're going to throw one little more monkey wrench in. I am sorry to tell you, but I didn't want, yeah, okay. Hey, remember those negative two? The irregulars are the dishes commands, yeah? Okay, just so you know, affirmative two commands that are irregular get a different set of, yeah. Yeah. Affirmative two commands get a different set of irregulars. They are not the dishes irregulars. They are other ones. I'm sorry. Lo siento mucho. Lo siento mucho. I'm very, very sorry. But affirmative two commands. If somebody says to a kid, or in a friendly way, come here, ven. Venir will not, you would think venir will just take vienes, ditch the S, but it isn't. The irregular command for tu, affirmative, come here, is ven. This you will hear a lot. People say this a lot. Okay, ven. Di. People say this a lot. Say this, say that. Tell him no. Tell him no. Tell him no is dile que no. Tell him no. Tell him no. Dile que no.
So Marilyn, it's also true that the pronoun is always attached to the affirmative command
Yes,
Okay.
go do it a command. You have to attach the pronoun.
for both the usted and the tu.
Yes, see.
Okay. Okay,
All affirmative commands, all
Okay.
attach.
okay.
All negative commands do not attach the pronouns.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to take a look at that in a bit. Bien, see. You see, this is a big can of worms we've opened, yeah? Es así. So, ven, di. Yeah. Sal. Oh, usually this is not such a nice command. It's basically you're telling somebody get out. Yeah. As. As means make or do. So do it is hazlo. Do it. Hazlo. Hazlo. Do it. But don't do it is no lo hagas. Wow. Look at all that. How often do we say to somebody, do it? Don't do it. Oh, yeah. Hazlo. Do it. But look, the verb is totally different for the don't do it. No lo hagas. Wow, qué difícil. That is tough. I'm going to tell you, if you want to use that in a two format, just memorize what those words are. It makes it a lot simpler. Hazlo, do it. No lo hagas, don't do it. No lo hagas. No lo hagas, okay? Then have, how can have be a command? Not often. But ten cuidado, be careful. Okay. So here's the most often, the most frequent use for tener. Ten cuidado, be careful. Because they don't use be with careful. Whoop, cuidado, perdón. I forgot my O at the end. Ten cuidado, be careful, right? Or maybe something like this. Ten paciencia. Be patient. Because in Spanish, they just say, have care, have care, have patience. It's just what they use, okay?
So is that a different have? So like if you just tell somebody like, have it versus take it.
Oh.
Like if they're looking at something that you have and you go, have it.
You're gonna
Or
use,
do you
you're gonna
usually
use-
say
you're
take
gonna
it?
use tomar. You use
Okay.
take. Yeah, you use tomar, take, yeah. You use tomar, yeah. If you physically want somebody to take something, which is usually what we do if we, give, yeah. Tómalo, take it, tómalo. But hey, don't take this, it's mine. No lo tomes, yeah.
How about have fun?
Oh, but that's a different verb. Oh, I'm going to create a
Of
different
course.
slide for that. Hang on. I'm going to create a different slide for that. Hang on. See, paciencia. Okay. Okay. So, ven, di, sal, as, ten. Here are the rest of our irregulars. For affirmative, tú. Ve, for go. Pon, for put. Se, for be. Are you going to use be a lot? No, you're not going to use be a lot unless you're talking to some little kid. Right? Don't be bad, that kind of thing. Okay. So the affirmative tú commands get a different set of irregulars. They are just these. And notice they are the affirmative tú commands. Ven, di, sal. Here's how you remember it. Oh, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's the dumbest of dumb. Every 15-year-old I had passed their exam with this. Vin Diesel has 10 weapons, eh? Vin Diesel has 10 weapons, eh? Yes. Okay, dumb. I say, hey, pretend you're Canadian. There we go. Vin Diesel had, because they all knew Vin Diesel and they all remembered that. And it was it stuck in there. Vin Diesel has 10 weapons, eh? Yeah. Vin Diesel has 10 weapons, eh? Yeah, those are the irregular, yes, go do it, to commands. I will send you this whole list. Okay. Those, yeah, these are the affirmative. So venir, for come, you're not going to tag on a pronoun. Decir, di, you may tag on different kinds of pronouns. Tell him, say it, tell them, tell me, tell us. Yeah. Decir will use a whole bunch of different kinds of pronouns. Sal will not use a pronoun. As might use pronouns. Do it, make it. Yeah, okay. Ten won't use pronouns. Be won't use, well, bete. Yeah, it might be reflexive, maybe. Pon might put it, put them, put it on. Yeah. And se won't use a pronoun. So some of those use pronouns, some of them don't. Depende. It really depends. And Marcos, your question again, remind me which verb you wanted.
Have fun.
Perdón, otra vez, one more time. See?
When you were using for verbs or cuidado. I asked
Oh,
about
have a good time.
fun.
Have a
Yeah.
good time. Have a
Yeah,
good time. Here is where have a good time. This does not use tener at all. They use a totally different verb. But when you tell somebody have a good time, it is a command. There are at least 3 ways you might say have a good time, but they will not use tener. So here is one have a good time that is super common. Oh, and okay. How most people will say this is actually not a command, but a subjunctive. Que lo, or you might hear la. It depends. And I'll write it both ways. Que la pases bien. Que la pases bien. That's not technically a command. It is a subjunctive. And what you're saying is technically, you're leaving this part out. I hope that, but you're not saying I hope that. I hope that you pass it well. And it's not talking about a gallstone. It's talking about or a kidney stone, God forbid. Sí, que la pases bien. Que la pases bien. I hope that you have a good time. That is what that means. And this thing here looks like the negative tool, but it's actually the subjunctive. Subjunctive looks like that. That is how you will most frequently, most of the time, you'll hear that. As an absolute command, it'll be this verb, divertirse. Divertirse is to have a good time, to enjoy oneself. So if you say that as a command, and that's an affirmative command, that means I have to look at, well, this is the form. This is what it'll be. Diviértete. Wow. Me divierto is I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. Me divierto aquí. I'm having a good time, right? I get rid of the o, right? I get rid of the o. Oh, well, hang on. I don't have to get rid of the o, right? Sorry. Hang on. I'm getting myself mixed up here. So the to form, let's just look at the to form. Te divierte, te diviertes, right? Te diviertes. We just take off the S from the diviertes, take off the S, and we swing this te to the end because I have to attach it. Diviértete.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Marilyn, got a question?
Sí.
So one of the phrases I learned a while ago was que tenga un buen día.
Oh, sí.
So that's a form of tener, and you're telling them to have a good day, right? Que tenga un buen.
Yes. And that's why, yeah. Have a good, right. It depends on, okay, good. I just want to show the and I'll get right back to yours. Okay. So diviértete, have a good time to a kid or a good friend, right? Have a good time. Literally, it means enjoy yourself. Right? Have a good time. So you can never use have. It's just not the way they say it. Okay. Tener is for physically possessing something. And you don't physically. So diviértase is the usted command. And you often hear it as a, hey, you guys, have a good time. Right? So as for ustedes, it's Diviértanse.
Mm.
Ustedes command. Have a good time. So this idea of have a good time, and we use this a lot in the holidays, so this is a timely topic. Que la pases bien is another way people might do it. And the thing that Charlie brought up is also a good one. Sometimes we may not really mean have a good time, but have a good day, right? And it may be this. Que tenga or que tengas buen día. Que tengas buen día. And again, we leave off the I hope that. We're leaving off the I hope that you have a good day. Que tenga buen día to a friend, que tengas buen día. To a group of people, que tengan buen día. These technically, guys, are not commands, but they are a related mood, related because they're subjunctive. Subjunctive is related to commands. Commands indicate an activity you want to happen, but isn't really happening. You're giving an order to somebody. Subjunctive indicates an event that isn't really happening yet, but you'd like it to. You'd be happy if it did. You'd be sad if it did. You think it's possible that it might. Subjunctive, that stuff you see in blue, always talks about something that isn't truly going on at this exact moment, but it indicates somebody's wish or desire, or it talks about doubt or possibility, but not something that is a part of the real world.
So on the first line there, we say have a good time is not tener. I guess that's what confused me. Aren't you using tener to say have a good day?
You are, yeah, but well, it's one of those oddities. It's just what they use. Yeah.
I'm gonna skip to, I'm gonna just go buenos dias.
Yeah.
Good day.
Keep
it simple.
Okay, but okay, so here, this thing here is often used when you leave a store. They'll say, people will say that to you, que tenga buen día, have a good day, just like we do in English, que tenga buen día. So just know, as you leave a store or maybe an office situation, as someone takes their leave and they're bidding you goodbye, they'll often say, que tenga buen día. May you have a good day. May you have a good day. I don't know if you'll have a good day. You may have a lousy day. You may have a great day. It may be a meh. It may be a meh day. I don't know how
this
your
day.
day is going to go. And that's why it's tenga, or for familiar, tu tengas. Que tengas buen día. It's just a polite thing to say. This que tengas buen día is just a chunk you should memorize. Just memorize it, literally, because this is a polite way to take your leave of someone. Que tengas buen día. Que tengas buen día, right? But specifically, if you're saying have a good time, those are commands. They are commands, okay? This is also super, super common, and not saying have a good day, but have a good time. Que la pases bien, you may hear instead of la, a lo, it depends. It's not a big deal. People in Latin America tend to use la more. People in Spain, for some reason, tend to use lo more. It doesn't really matter. People know what you mean. Que lo pases bien, que la pases bien. They know exactly what you mean. You're telling them, have a good time. Okay? Bien? Vale. Let's actually do some practice. Uy, práctica. ¿Dónde está? Aquí. Wow. Let's do some practice. Let's practice these together. I think I'm not going to ask you to go off on your own here. These are tough. Bien. Okay. Well, first of all, let's forget these yet. Take. How do we
Tome.
make a take command? Because this is used a lot. Hey, take this, have this, take this.
Tome.
Tome, if it's polite, right?
Mhm.
Polite, usted, it's tome. For you guys, it's
Tome.
tomen, right? For two, the friendly, hey, you say to a kid, hey, take this. It's
Toma.
toma. Right, or to somebody you call by the first name. So take will be either tome or tomen or toma for two. And we're talking about the yes, do take something, right?
Mhm.
Right, okay, vale. So if I want to say, take it, this thing is a shot. It's a shot. And we call that shot un trago, a swallow. Take it. Take, ¿cómo se- well, it won't be a ley
Tómalo.
because
Tómalo.
tómalo,
Tómalo.
Hello.
tómalo.
Hello.
Sí, tómalo.
Mm.
Tómalo. It's a little shot of liquor. It's a masculine thing. Tómalo. Tómalo. See?
Would they understand it if you say tamale
Uh,
or too confusing?
le would be talking about a person. And you're not taking a person. You're taking an object. Lo is for objects. If somebody says, somebody says, have this coffee, tómalo, tómalo, take it.
Why not tómelo?
Politely, yes, tómelo. It can be tómelo if you're talking to somebody, addressing them as usted. So it might be tómelo, tómenlo. If I give everybody a little shot, right? It'll be tómalo. For friendly, just you and me, and I call you by your first name, tómalo. Okay? And I tag on an accent mark, but you don't need to worry about that. Just worry about a yes command. Drink up, take this thing. It's tómelo if you're not on a first name basis. Cindy, if you're not on a first name basis, it's tómelo.
Okay.
The clerk who is handing over your coffee cup to you says, tómelo, por favor, tómelo. Right? Because the barista doesn't know you, right?
Right.
If you walk into that same barista every single day, if you have seen that barista 3 times this week, she'll probably flip to 2 and say, tómalo. The tómalo is just making it friendly.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you.
Cindy, when you see that handsome stranger at the bar and you give him a shot, then it's tómelo.
But you know, this is a frequent thing when somebody hands they have handed over the thing to you and you're taking it across the counter. Yeah.
The first
Tómalo,
tómelo was to tómalo.
right.
The second.
Yeah.
And the second one,
Tómelo
if it's friendly.
or formal. Tómenlo, they're serving more than one person. They're handing it over to more than one person. Yeah. You got the 4-pack at Starbucks. That's that one, right? Bien. And tómalo, friendly. Wow, I've seen you. This is the 3rd time I've seen you this week. Tómalo. Because people will flip into tú mode, especially, well, really frequently if you're a regular. If you're a regular customer, they see you all the time. Okay. Eat. ¿Cómo se dice eat? Let's make commands out of eat.
Coma.
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 Coma
Toma.
for usted, for more than one.
Coleman.
Coman, if you're talking to a whole group,
Mhm.
and come.
Come.
Talking to a little kid or to a friend, one friend, right? Right, and notice Coman is not really formal, it's just you plural is just you plural, right? The informal you, the vosotros, gets two separate, yeah, that's like different commands again. You don't need to know it because they only use it in Spain. So coma, coman, come. Okay, let's practice with eat the tacos. Tacos.
Comalas.
Okay, tacos.
Oh,
Tacos.
comalos.
Los tacos.
Cómalos. Cómalos. Okay. Hey, you guys, eat them.
Lo siento.
Cómanlos. Right? And
Okay.
you want to say to one person and you're on a friendly basis with them, eat them, eat them.
Comelos.
Cómelos. Cómelos. And you'll notice I have to add a little accent mark when I write it. Okay. Vale. Bien.
And
Okay.
Marilyn, if you wanted to say eat the tacos, it would be like come los tacos.
Come los tacos. Or eat these.
Come los
Come estos.
los
Come estos. Come estos. Eat these. Okay. Or, you know, that whole thing of you got the 2 Tupperware things that people go home with for Thanksgiving. Yeah, yeah. See, toma estos, take these. No.
Or eat these brownies.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. So, yeah, so some kinds of verbs lend themselves nicely to pronouns, like take it, take them, eat it, eat them. Some commands don't get a pronoun. Come back doesn't get come back doesn't get an object.
Well,
It's just come back. So come back is
Vuelva.
vuelva, if you're being polite. If you're talking to a group of people, more than one person, it's vuelvan. If you're talking to somebody you're on a friendly name basis, first name basis with, it's vuelve.
Vuelve.
You haven't got, the person hasn't got something in stock and they tell you come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is not, it can't become a pronoun. Come back tomorrow. See? Vuelva mañana. Vuelva mañana, you're just telling them when, right? That's not an object. Tomorrow does not receive the action, it just tells when you're telling somebody come back. Okay? Vuelva, vuelvan, vuelve. No pronouns, because I can't. Okay, bien. But pay might get a pronoun. Let's just look at como se dice pay, pague, and it's spelled a little bit funny way. Yeah, pague to a group of people. Paguen. One person, hey, pay up. It becomes
Paga.
paga. Now, pay might get a pronoun. Might get a pronoun. If I want to say, "Whoa, look at this guy. Here's the person you have to pay." Oh, do I use a lo, a la, a los, a las, a le, a les? What do I use?
Págame.
Has to be
Págamelo.
le. Has to be le. Pay him. Pay him. The thing I'm paying is a bill, receipt, yeah, money. Yeah, but I'm paying a human being. I'm giving the money to the person. The money, the thing I'm paying is a direct object. who gets the money? That guy. So I
And
have to talk about him.
Lo.
And it's
Lo.
gotta be
Lo.
le.
Le.
Pagele.
Yeah.
Could he say Melon Pagamela?
He could say si. Pagame
Pagamela.
aquí. Pagame aquí. Pay me here, right? You don't have to walk to that cashier station. Pagame.
Okay.
Pagele, pay him. Pagame, pay us. Pague nos.
Sí.
Yeah. Pagame, pay me. Pague nos, pay us. Okay?
Question?
Sí.
So is that pagale, is that an irregular for the studies form then? Because the normal would be pago for I pay, right? Am I?
How do you say pagame?
Oh, you mean this pague, this particular verb?
Yes, yes, yes.
It is not technically irregular. Well, it is a spelling change.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to show you very quickly why that happens. If I take pago and I drop the o and I say, oh, pagar is an AR verb, I need an a. How do you pronounce that? That is not pronounced page.
Okay.
If I spell it that way, it's page, because GE is page. I don't want to change the core of what that verb is. The core of what that verb is pagar. So to get the g back, I have to insert a silent U.
Hmm,
It's a spelling change, nothing more.
okay.
And notice when I asked people, how do you make pagar into, and everybody said page, right? Page.
Mhm.
You maybe didn't know it was spelled this way, but you knew how to say
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Page. It has to keep the g. So in order to keep the g, the spelling, they have to put in a U to stand in there and say, oh, I'm going to make the G go back to a hard G sound. That's all it is. It's a
Okay.
spelling change. Okay.
Why isn't that same rule apply with the to form of this?
Why does that U not come back?
Yeah,
Because GA automatically keeps a g sound.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. The rule with G is hard G is ga, go, goo. Got go goo. But you know, in this case, that U is doing a very specific job. It's standing there to make the G to go back into a G sound, and the U will be silent, right? Yeah. Ga, go, ge, goo. Guardia. Okay. Okay, so these two sounds flip G into h. And we don't want to say page. We want to say page. So to get back to the g sound, I have to insert that U. Okay. Uno más, one more. Uno más. Decir, tell.
Diga.
Diga. Okay, and this is really important because you're going to hear this word a lot. Diga. The ustedes is digan, but the do is
Dice.
oh, you would think it should be dice, but it isn't.
No.
No, because remember, bendice hastante ponce. Decir is an oddball. So look at what happens. Diga, digan, but
Di.
di.
Dice. Oh, just D.
Yeah, di. Because decir is one of the bendice. Yeah. So here is how you hear tell them. ¿Cómo se dice tell them?
Diles.
For the tu, it'll be diles. Yeah.
Right.
For a tu command. But
Tell them.
if it's yeah, otherwise it'll be
Dígame.
díganles or Perdón. Dígales for usted. Díganles for, hey, you guys, go tell them. Diles for friendly command. Diles. Diles. Diles el problema. Tell them about the problem. See? Díganles. Tell them. Dígale. Tell them. Dígame. Tell.
Me, tell me.
Sí.
Tell me.
Díganos. Tell
Them.
us.
Oh,
Díganos. Yeah, this is how you actually wind up hearing commands. And how we may tag on pronouns. So I'm going to leave my, okay, so
Okay.
for next week, I want you to think about these. No, I want you to think about
I
these
want some,
because some of them may take a pronoun, some of them may not. Okay, and we're leaving the big screen up. I want you to check out these. See if you can make them into, we're going to use only affirmative commands here. Only the yes, go do it commands. And we'll attach stuff to them. So I will send you this whole thing, but these are going to be covered up so you don't see yet what we're, just think about how do I make these commands? And the next thing I want you to do is listen to the Carlitos one again. There's going to be a very subtle switch and it's going to come in the first like 3 to 4 minutes. Remember how he talks about they bought a pumpkin,
Pumpkin. Mm-hmm.
and I want you to notice the difference between lo and le. They're going to say, oh, they're going to make some eyes for him. I want you to notice that switch between lo and les in the first like 4 minutes. I want you to notice that. And we'll, it's a little picky question that we'll open with next week. Okay, it's a little conundrum, a little clue. So I'll send you that. So think about that again, listen to that again. And he
Oh
won't
my
necessarily have commands through there. He's going to use pronouns and regular statement of fact because he's telling a story. And there's one last thing. ¿Cuál es? ¿Cuál es? ¿Cuál es? ¿Dónde está? Oh, yeah, see. I have a video I would like you to watch that talks about the different reasons we use sorry. Not connected to commands, although you will hear some commands. So keep that in mind. It's not a storytelling video per se, but they are different ways of saying sorry or excuse me. Or pardon me, and what the contexts are, when we use them in different circumstances, because you will hear some commands with that. So it's kind of tied up with our commands loosely in a way. Okay, bien?
Yeah.
Man.
Bien, bien? Okay. Vale. Guy. Okay. Magnifico. If you feel a little bit stumped, just know next week we're going to work on just 2 commands. Okay, that screen I'm going to send you is think of just how do I make the usted command, the ustedes command, and the tu command. We're going to keep them all affirmative. The yes, go do it for all of them. Okay, bien?
Okay.
And
Okay.
we're going to isolate that. Okay, bien. Eso es todo. That is it. And you'll hear some of those commands tied up with the I'm sorry video.
There you go.
And you will know it when you hear it. You will absolutely know it when you hear it. Y que la pasen bien, have a good time. Que la pasen bien el jueves, ¿no? Que la pasen bien el jueves. Ok, eso es todo.